Well, I thought and thought and thought. I wanted something really creative for the opening of the first workout journal video of 2021, and I got nothing. So instead, here we are. We're out taking the car to the tire shop for new tires, and I'm at a restaurant adding to my old one. So here we go. I thought about putting a question mark at the end of third year's a charm, but I decided that rather than express doubt, I would go ahead and leave it as a determined statement. I am going to make this third year, at least as far as the video series is concerned, this third year a year of definite improvement, definite change, better health, a better cardiovascular system, better attention to diet, lower body fat, more strength. I'm going to make it happen. 13, 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Since this represents the start of a year, let's go ahead and begin with the data, the cold hard data about where I was on January 1st. What was I kicking off the year with? And of course, I started with a weigh-in. This particular weigh-in was 223.2. Now that's higher than I'd like, but the nice thing is if we compare, 2019 was 237.8. 2020 was 235.2, not much drop there. I've already been over that. So at 223.2, not only is that a 12-pound drop over the start of 2020, so a 12-pound, excuse me, 12-pound net loss for 2020, I get to start 2021 at the lowest weight since I don't remember when. I think I mentioned or at least alluded to the fact in episode 40 that I did not get my body fat measured at all in 2020, so I definitely wanted to do that in 2021. And since the last time that I got my body fat evaluated, I discovered something called the DEXA scan, which is considered the gold standard. I think even Jeffrey Strang mentioned it 2 years ago when I met with him.
DEXA is arguably the golden standard. However, that's often impractical. It's expensive. You're exposed to radiation, and you have to seek it out at like a hospital or clinical setting.
And I discovered that a medical clinic in Bend had one for $99. So I was able to set aside that money. And in February, I got myself my first DEXA scan. I asked about bringing the video camera, and they said absolutely not. There were liability issues. I can understand that for a surgery or something like that, but for a machine where you simply lay on a bed and this thing goes around you and scans your body fat, I don't get it. I was hoping to actually show the experience. This thing scans your body quite intensely. It's actually more typically used for bone density tests, osteoporosis tests, but along the way it scans all of you, and so it can be used to give you a pretty precise number. Looking here at the results, it broke it down by not only the overall body fat percentage, but where it is, so that you can see how much is in my arms and how much is in my abdomen and all of that. So it's got terms here I have no clue even, whatever. But the number that I'm most interested in was the overall percentage, which was higher than I wanted and expected. And now it's time to take a look at the aesthetics, the more subjective side of things, away from all the hard data. This is the 2021 footage, and we start off here with the chest. I will say I don't have time to go into detail like I did the very first year. I'm just going to do some highlights here, including a side-by-side. We have 2019 and 2021. I was standing in two different places in the room, and the lighting is a lot different there. But so here is 2020 compared to 2021, and that to me is very encouraging. It's not a huge change, but I can see right there in the middle, near the clavicle, more definition in 2021. So losing the 12 or 13 pounds net loss had a visual impact. Without stopping to compare with previous years, to me it looks like the upper chest from the side here is getting more developed. I will say that every now and then, sometimes I noticed something in the gym mirror that seems to be an improvement, and then I go back and I check old footage and I see the same thing from years ago and I've just forgotten. So, you know, it's hard to say how much has actually changed without getting out all the old photos, which I don't have time for right now. So we're just going to kind of blast through some of these images. This basically is me in 2021, January 10th specifically. That arm is going to have some decent shape once the outer layer is tightened up nicely and more form-fitting to my musculature. It's the same story with the back lat spread. I still have a lot of loose skin obscuring whatever muscular development and form I may have under there. And I confess that 2 years ago I was hoping that I wouldn't be saying that 2 years later, but you know, it's my own fault. Consistency and dedication are not my strong points. I have got to be getting to the gym much more often, as well as paying a whole lot more attention to my diet. I did a quick update of my back fat, and yes, it's still there. It's still all over, especially around the lower regions. I will warn you, I took more time this year to get that video footage coming up. You'll see it if you can stomach it. Literally, that's not what I meant. But anyway, yes, there's my old arch enemy, the abdomen. Yeah, I can see some dimples. I don't know if that's just dimples in the belly fat or if that is actually starting to reveal definition of the six-pack underneath. I'm tempted to be skeptical and say it's just dimples in the body fat. On the positive side, you see me squeezing here, the body fat all over my body seems to be getting looser. I don't remember being quite this loose with the skin. The negative side, or the worrisome part, is that perhaps I'm old enough my skin won't retract and I'll be left with just a lot of loose skin hanging off after the body fat burns off. But it is what it is, or it will be what it will be. I guess we'll find out. Here's my annual dangerous shot, and as much as I am pointing out there that I still don't see an Adonis belt, I also noticed this is one of the areas where it feels, maybe I'm kidding myself, I don't know, maybe it's just psychological, but it feels like that is not as tight and not as dense with body fat as it used to be. I'm going to save a little time and not worry about a full evaluation of both legs, but just a quick look here at the overall quad development, how the hamstrings are looking, the glute development, and the calves. Getting back to the body fat evaluation, here comes the most personal footage of the video. I hope this is not offensive or shocking. It's meant strictly as an academic evaluation. But once again, I noticed, and the reason I actually got the footage was because I was encouraged by how loose all of this feels. The inner quads, the glutes, the hamstrings. The weight loss in 2020 has had a tactile positive benefit. Finally, Arnold Schwarzenegger said, if it jiggles, it's fat. So, yes, I got some footage of me doing everything I could to get any fat on me jiggling, bouncing, wiggling, just so that a year from now, many years from now, I can look back and compare. So, yeah, you can see a lot of me does way too much jiggling, so there is work to be done. And that brings us up to the usual workout section, but before I get into the details about what I've been doing in the gym, this has been kind of an interesting winter in that after having YouTube channels for years and having this video series for 2 full years, I had suddenly more interest from the fans than I think ever before. My YouTube counter on a couple of episodes suddenly spiked over 200 views, which, you know, compared to the guys with 1 million followers isn't much, but my videos almost always level out around 40 to 50 views, and all of a sudden I was getting 200 or more hits. So something happened there. I'm not sure. It started, I think, with Mark Prickett's home gym video, and so I don't know what kind of audience I've gained in that time. But also, I've had a couple fans suddenly step up and want to motivate me, encourage me by sending me things. And so you've already seen the one tiger that Nick E. from Baltimore sent to me. Another guy picked out 3. He picked out 2 tank tops and a t-shirt and sent those. The other boost I kind of got for myself. There is a cut of tank top called the stringer tank top, or sometimes called the bodybuilding tank top. It's good for the bodybuilder who has the pectorals and shoulders and delts that he's really ready to show off. I'm not sure I'm really ready to show off, but there was a part of me that just wanted that. Same as the way I wanted the compression leggings last year. And there was an ad on Facebook for some discounted ones, a new company offering a sale or something like that. I went ahead and I took that little plunge. That's all out of the way now. So now we can dive in to the workouts. It is late in the evening on the first Monday of 2021. And guess what building I'm about to go into? To keep me on track for hitting my powerlifting goal of 315 pounds this year, I set up my office calendar with basically a pace car. I put 315 pounds in December, and then I worked backwards, giving myself, for most of it, 2 weeks to hit each given 5-pound mark. So that I have that going, and that kind of that tells me what I should be hitting at the gym. I'm encouraged that the bench press and the deadlift have both been ahead of schedule all year. In fact, on a bench press, and I think on the deadlift, I've been able to add 5 pounds to the bar each week. The squats, not so much. Those have always been weak. They got really weak during the lockdowns, and for the first 3 months of the year, I have been lazy about doing. I don't like squat workouts. I'm actually contemplating rearranging my workout schedule so the squats are earlier in the week, when I just have more energy and mental motivation, but I'll talk about that another time. On January 11th, I got to the gym, I was excited, I was ready to go, and I discovered that I had inadvertently removed all of my workout gear from the gym bag. So for that night, I was the best dressed guy in the gym. Try 80, Jay said. I'll spot you, he said. No. Okay. All right.
Push hard.
Oh my gosh.
Push hard.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2. Okay. Like that.
Yeah. Down. Whoa. Let's try 75.
Okay.
Wow. Those are heavy. It's March 21st, 2021. I'm in Bend, Oregon, in the parking lot of the Strength Warehouse Powerlifting Gym. And I'm about to go inside and pick up my first ever personally owned weightlifting belt. That's all I have time for today, and as I sit here staring into the lens of this camera, I actually don't know how much of that I will be able to squeeze into 20 minutes. Whatever you just saw is whatever I was able to squeeze in, and if I had to cut anything out, I'll move it to the next workout journal and re-record some commentary to go along with it. That's my year so far. It's pretty good. I'm not unhappy with it. I don't feel like I've wasted my time, even though I've had some days where I could have gone to the gym and slacked off. But I think overall we've got a reasonably good year going on. If you're going to wreck your diet, I highly recommend the pulled pork sandwich at the E Bar and Grill in Redmond, Oregon.